Millwall. As things stand, as we approach this Wednesday lunchtime, Nathan Jones, 5-4 favourite. He stands out on his own. Some of the others in there, Michael Beale 4-1, Kevin Muscat 5-1, but Nathan Jones is 5-4 favourite, Simon. Yeah. We'll get to that in a second, because I wonder how mindful Millwall fans may end up being of some of the things that Nathan Jones said when he was in something of a tailspin at Southampton and decided to go on the offensive.
I've compromised in terms of certain principles because of one, personnel, but two, you know, the way that people want to play and so on, and I've compromised because fans and so on. Compromised on a few little things, to be honest with you, but no more, because at the end of the day, I've been very successful, and I've been very successful playing a real fluent style, and then tried to implement that at Stoke, and it didn't because of certain things. Then I came back to Luton. We were a real aggressive, front-footed side. Statistically, there weren't many better than me around Europe in terms for aggression, clean sheets, defending your box, balls in the box, XG, all those things. We were pound for pound the best, because we were spending next to nothing and producing so much. And I've gone away from that because maybe it's Premier League, because of how things look, because of certain players and internationals and stuff like that. But no more, because at the end of the day, I've had to compromise certain things, and I'm not doing that again.
So if Nathan Jones gets the Millwall job, Simon, what Nathan Jones are you hiring? The former Luton manager, or the Nathan Jones Stoke / Southampton boss?
Well, I think it's about levels. And I think it's undeniable that the fella did a decent job at Luton. Twice, yeah. And did it twice. And a lot has to be said for that. I mean, I don't know if he should be selling tickets on himself about being the most aggressive team in Europe and things of that nature, because that makes him an object of ridicule with people that look at him from that position, when they go on to say, when he steps up to bigger clubs. Stoke had been relegated from the Premier League. There was an expectation that they were going to get back there with parachute payments. He went in there and literally, metaphorically and factually stank the place out. You go to Southampton, and whatever you may or may not say about the fact that he will talk to the media and he's good ticket value for people listening to him, he didn't have the levels, didn't have the ability to operate with Premier League players. You know, when I spoke to certain people at Southampton, they were surprised. No doubting the man's work ethic, no doubting the man's passion, but there is a difference between communicating and translating passion into an outcome that's of any meaning to a football club, and being very busy and sleeping at the training ground and whatever else he may have done to be able to achieve some sort of philosophy. But his method of communication, his ability to bring players with him of a certain level, clearly wasn't evident. Now, if Millwall's ambition is to get to the Premier League, well, maybe, because obviously Nathan Jones will have a lot of points to prove. He strikes me as a rather chippy little manager that's got a lot to say for himself, with very little to back it up besides two decent spells at Luton.
Yeah.
So, you know, with respect to Millwall, and I know that Millwall fans are going to say, well, you would say this because of the rivalry with Crystal Palace, there are levels, and maybe Millwall is his level.
Maybe it is. Can you see him at Millwall, Danny? Nathan Jones, he has, I must admit, got a reaction on one hand at Luton, and I remember him there. And then on the other hand, when he started trotting out some of that stuff at Southampton, you thought, Nathan, hang on, pull the brakes on here. If he was to get another chance, would he be due it?
Well, he's done some good things and bad. I mean, the sign of any good manager is someone who learns from previous experiences and improves next time.
Yeah.
I think he is a bit emotional at times. That's a concern. Someone who's easily riled. You know, sometimes saying things when you think you probably wouldn't want to say that. Next morning, wake up, and I was a little bit concerned at times with the narrative consistently about, you know, the religious belief and how that, you know, everything's meant to be and all. Well, for me, it's you make your own way in football. You have to make success.
He will evolve in football knowledge, but the temperament and character of someone, if you're 50 years of age and you still exhibit a certain character trait, that is a leopard and a spot, and it probably isn't going to change.
We're in trouble then, aren't
we? Well, that's fine, and I'll accept the slings and arrows of outrageous fortune from my character. But the point is that taking him into Millwall, yes, I think that possibly Millwall can get a tune out of him. He'll do a decent job there. And of course, you've got this spirit in Millwall that once upon a time they prided upon themselves.
Well, Luton were the underdogs, weren't they?
Yes.
And Millwall, in effect, is an underdog at that level.
Did you say Millwall can get a tune out of him?
Yeah,
Yeah,
because
he did.
That's
I
a
did.
cart before the horse,
Well,
isn't it?
yeah, because ultimately they get a tune out of him, they'll get a tune out of them. It works. They work in tandem, because Southampton couldn't. Southampton.
Well,
I remember Martin Semmens telling me in no uncertain terms that as a result of the guy Rasmus that was there that had done all the statistics, that this guy was the standout candidate for Southampton to be able to pick up the slack from what Hassan Hüttl had left behind to get them to a position where they could stay in the division. Right? And everything pointed themselves to this coach and one of the best coaches around. I think their reaction after they experienced him firsthand was markedly different. In fact, diametrically opposed.
Yeah.
So the reality of someone being able to sing you a song in an interview and someone to give you the criteria of what they think that they're going to bring to your training ground, and then actually the person interacting with players of a certain stature, certain perception of themselves, a Premier League football club with a certain expectation, is vastly different than when you go down to Millwall and Millwall fans are expecting to be punching their way in and around the Championship. I think he can operate at that level, and if any lessons he's learned is probably when to speak and when to be quiet.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think the underdog mentality is probably some managers
better.
suits better than others.
Jim White and Simon Jordan. Monday to Friday mornings from 10 on AM, on DAB, via the talkSPORT app and on your smart speaker. talkSPORT.